good.
You're live.
Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to the Fix This Build That Sunday Night Live show. I'm Brad.
And I'm Susan.
And welcome.
Welcome.
There we go.
Welcome.
We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff today, woodworking, answering questions, latest videos, and all that other good stuff. So we're going to welcome some other folks here. We got Max Woodwork. We are on Instagram as well. If you're on Instagram, please come over and join us on YouTube. It's a way better experience. FixThisBuildThat.com/live, L-I-V-E. And you can get right over there. And for all those folks on YouTube, welcome. Thank you for joining. We have,
That's right.
We definitely have a little group over there that are,
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Does that mess things up?
well, you know, just other than pulling the camera over, we're good.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I wanted it more on me.
I was like, Braden Garvey, what's up? We got Ernesto from Russia, Colorado, Damon in Colorado on vacation. I like that.
Oh, nice.
Steve from LA, Living Lath in Lincoln. What is up? All right, we got Kansas.
I was wondering, like, how hot is it where everybody is? It was
super hot.
crazy hot here in Nashville.
It was like 95, 96,
It was horrible.
98. It was
Our
getting
kids
up there,
went,
man.
They went
Holy
out
cow.
for like 2 minutes, came back, and they were just sweaty.
Lumbertown, North Carolina, Jersey, Oakville, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, that
All right,
sounds nice. I bet it's still hot there, though.
Snakebite 100 says, love the
sorry,
video.
what?
Snakebite 100 says, love the video on how to make the Lazy Susan painter. I just used that in my latest video. I use that all the time. So it's a great video.
I thought Snakebite, that was like the name of the place where they lived. Like that would be a great name, like Snakebite, Arizona
Snakebite,
or something.
Missouri. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, out west somewhere.
All right, we got Iron Duck, Edinburgh, Texas. Man, you ask them where they're from, and they came
I
out of
know,
woodworks.
they answered.
I know, I love
They
this.
took pity on me.
100
when I was
in
mumbling.
Jersey, 112.
Oh,
gosh,
is that with
guys.
the heat index or actual
And
degrees?
Bill and Box MFG, what is up?
It's hot.
I don't know what it is, but
It's a heat wave.
It's hot.
Or it's just July. I don't know.
Yeah, so anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. We are keeping it cool in the shop, which is the
This
AC
is
the
when
best in
it
there.
really pays to have AC in your shop.
Before we jump into it, we do want to thank all the folks that have joined the Builders Club since last week. And we had Jeremy Vargas, Marc Talbot, Adrian Abshire, and Alexander Sipple.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for joining. If you don't know what the Builders Club is, it's basically the inside circle of Fix This, Build That. They get extra content, they get early access to videos, they get plans, all kinds of cool stuff. You can go check that out at FixThisBuildThat.com/Builders Club if you're interested in finding out more info.
Right.
But yeah, and which reminds me, I forgot to post the thing. So for all my Builders Club folks, sorry about that. I didn't post I haven't posted the article yet. So but yeah, I was editing. So we just launched. So what's happening this week? We just launched the Dream Closet Makeover.
Dream Closet.
And that's where we worked with Home Depot. They came in and did that. It was basically the flip side. So if you guys have seen the DIY closet organizer that I made that myself. And then we had a huge master closet that had just a ton of wall space and everything.
Yep.
And we decided to go with the Home Depot. They said they were looking for somebody to highlight their services. I said, that's a great fit because we just are doing one DIY. And so I can show the flip side of it. Some people really didn't love that I didn't DIY it myself, but you can't please all the people all the time.
You know, and if you took a second to look at the before of our closet, you will know why.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally was like, yes, this sounds amazing. And we had a lot of things on the docket that we were already planning on doing.
Just a note on that. I mean,
Yeah.
so if you go to the YouTube, and it's not been a ton. A lot of people, there's some funny parts in there. But, if you're a DIY channel and then you do anything that's not DIY, and so it was sponsored content. Like, that's how we make our living is through sponsored content and plan sales and you guys helping support us. We really enjoy it. But, some of those, like, it's sponsored content and it came up, like, Home Depot wanted to install a closet for us, and we're like, we've been wanting to do that.
Right.
And our closet is massive, and so we looked at the time it would take me to build it out.
Right.
Between design, build, and install, that'd have been easily 3 weeks, and they got it done in 2 days.
It was amazing. Yeah.
And
it was
wifey,
great.
and they did. Honestly, it looks better than what I would have done.
I mean,
And it wasn't even that; it was the design, and that's what I tell people in the comments. It's like,
right.
because these are people that design closets all day, every day.
And we really enjoyed working with them too.
Yeah, well, and
So,
they're a really close partner of mine too. So like they asked me to do it, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, we can do it.
Yeah.
And I won't be doing many of those, but sprinkle it in here and there. I don't know. So if you didn't like that, just don't watch it.
Watch the DIY version instead.
Watch the
when
DIY
we did our
version.
son's closet.
Turn it off
Which,
after
by
you
the
see
way,
me dance, and you'll be good.
Can I just say, our DIY closet that we did right around the same time as when that was actually filmed, that thing has been amazing because I have put so many, he has a big closet, but it was just a really bad design before our son's closet. And with the DIY closet in there and 4 different areas to hang, we have so much stuff in there. Like all of our out of season coats are in his closet
all
now.
in our son's closet.
I mean, because he doesn't care. Like he's 11,
Yeah.
he doesn't care.
He doesn't have much clothes.
No,
so
but
it's
it's
all
been
good.
amazing. It was a huge upgrade.
Let's see here. We got Dave, Bama Indy fan. What's up, my man? Actual temp in Jersey, no heat index. My gosh.
Oh, what was it?
100. It was
Jeez
100.
Louise.
I know.
And there's like no end in sight, at least where we are. It's 90s for as long as the eye can see.
Yes.
But not 100.
Yes. All right.
we'll
So
take
who we
that.
got over here? We got Teresa. We got Adrian. What's up, Adrian? Big Woods
Yeah.
Garage. We got Katie in here. We got all the regulars. I love it. Jack
Jack's
McDevitt.
here.
Cool.
Yep.
Excellent. So
And
go ahead.
some people were switching over. RCTID.
RCTID. Come over
Yeah,
from Instagram.
came over from Instagram. Says so much
If
better.
you're on Instagram, please come
Yep.
over to YouTube. It's the second channel. It's called Fix This Build That Live. That's what it's called right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you search for that on YouTube, it'll come up now. Before we had 1,000 subscribers, it wouldn't even come up in search results. But now,
Yeah.
if you just search for Fix This Build That Live, the channel will come up. So please come join us.
Joe Clemmer also jumped over, and I love
Awesome.
this Penkua.
Penkua, that's Katie.
Penkua is
Yeah.
like Katie is greeting people for me.
She's greeting
so that's
people. I
great.
love it.
Thank
Fantastic.
you, Katie. Yes.
I just so that's what's going on. What's happening this week? The closet. We just released that today. The video. And if you were here and you've seen me talking, doing stories, whatever. I was going to release the nightstand with the secret drawer today, but I didn't.
No, we didn't.
Because it is kicking my butt. Or at least it was. Like literally
Until
right before dinner.
today.
Right before dinner.
I was cooking dinner. Let's just set the scene. I was cooking dinner. Kids are outside getting sweaty. I'm in there cooking, minding my own business, and I hear what can only be described as hooting and hollering. I can't even say it. I mean, like cheering, loud cheering, like whoa! And I was like, oh, this must be the children. No, my husband in the shop, because you cracked it. You cracked the case.
So,
It was
and
so
if you
excited.
don't know what I'm talking about, I've been working on a nightstand with a secret compartment, and it gets released by something on the front, and like it's like way out of my comfort zone. So I've never done anything like this before.
Nope.
And then on top of that, I welded the base. So it's just a very complex project, and it's taken a lot of time. And so I got all those other pieces, and then couldn't figure out the locking mechanism to make everything release. But I did today, and it feels wonderful. And so so now I just have to clean everything up and shoot it over to the editor, and that will be the video for next Sunday. I am really, really excited about this one. So
Really.
I'm trying to figure out like the best way to do the thumbnail and the title to like really make it
Amazing.
captivating, because
It is amazing.
I think it's
but
super
to
cool.
catch people,
I think it's super cool.
Yeah,
but I don't
it's
know.
super
Y'all have
cool.
to tell me.
Yeah.
Lucas, what's up, my man?
Is
Lucas,
this Lucas?
the party's over in
Oh, the Lucas over here
And-
said he's still making squirrel
YouTube.
picnic tables.
Squirrel picnic tables, nice.
He's still at it.
Getting squirrely.
I mean, if they're selling, you might as well.
Jonathan from El Salvador, what's up, my man?
Hey, welcome.
PSLR says amazing closet. Thank you. All right, what do we have over here? What do we have on the YouTube?
Let's see. Matt even says he'd love to see some videos on welding. Well, hold on to your hat, because there's going to be a little bit of welding in the next video.
Yeah, Matt. So I don't do a ton of welding, and I guess we can share here. I don't think I haven't looked at. I haven't even looked at the footage.
I'll leave that to you.
So I was welding, and I weld over by my CNC, like in the little corner back there. If you're familiar with the shop.
Small little corner of the shop that you have for welding.
Right, and so there's the dust collector also, and it's got a pleated filter. And so the last thing, and so welding sparks. The last thing you want on a pleated fabric filter is a spark, obviously. So and then I've got the CNC with the computer, and so I drape. What I've been doing is I drape over a big drop cloth over it, and like one of those like thick, heavy canvas ones that you use for painting.
We use it for everything, it seems like.
We have a really big one. It's super
Great.
nice. Was super nice. And
It's been
you can see
nicer.
where this is going. So I did it over there, and I've done this on all my welding projects so far. But what I think I didn't do or I didn't notice was that it had kind of draped down and it was kind of sitting on the floor. And if you've welded or if you've seen welding, what happens is like the sparks shoot out, and it's like, you know, slag. It's like hot molten metal, basically. And it hits the ground and like it's red, like literally red hot, and then it like cools very quickly. But what happened is because the canvas was on the ground, instead of like whenever it hits the canvas, it's fine. But if it just sat there and laid there, and I was like, I'm welding, and I'm like, man, it's like smelling kind of weird. I was like, this is like, it's like way more smoky than I thought.
And just to make sure that this is clear to everyone, this is our house. Like the shop is connected.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. Right?
The investigators, when the house burned, we don't want them watching this. But
it didn't burn down. That's okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm smelling. I'm like, what is going? And then sure enough, I look over and there's like a hole like this big in the canvas, like growing. And it wasn't. And that was. I guess that's great. Is that I don't know if it's like fire retardant or what. So it wasn't.
Oh.
It wasn't in flames. It was smoldering, but it was
Silver
like.
linings.
And so it must have been going for a while because it was like. It was probably close to 8 inches round at that point. I was like, ah! And so I started stomping it, and then I grabbed the water bottle, like, you know, I just like threw water over everything. It was, so do not.
That'll get your blood pumping.
That will get your blood pumping.
I came out shortly after.
And we had to run, like the funniest part was we had to go to my sister's for a birthday party for my niece, and so I was like, I hauled the whole thing out and like threw it in the yard.
Yeah.
Like it was doused and everything, but I was like, what if this starts back up? It was scary.
Yeah, it smelled like something had gotten a little singed.
It was not cool.
Here.
So,
yeah. So
Bourbon Moth,
don't
what's up, Jason? Moral of the story is I am going to be investing in some actual welding blankets.
Yes.
I just was, you know,
it always
it's my
works,
inexperience.
right? Yeah. Well, like I think.
I didn't think about like, oh, well, these
and honestly, that is a very easy. Nothing really horrible happened.
Yes.
Like little wake up call to be like, oh, I need welding blankets.
Yeah, and so
and
I'm gonna make. I don't know what I'm gonna do, like a cage or like a cage, but like anyway.
You can build something.
That was a learning lesson.
Yes.
Don't do that.
And it all worked out well. It was good. Except we have to get a new drop cloth, maybe. K
Woodworks over on Instagram. My phone's horrible. I know it's hunting and pecking. It stinks. It's because it's on my phone. If you go over to YouTube, you won't have any of these problems. And we're in nice, crispy, clean 1080 HD locked on with my GH5S and my Sigma Art lens. So K Woodworks, head over to YouTube and you'll love it. Bourbon Woodworking. My bad. I thought it was Bourbon Moth. No problem. I can't let anybody join anyway because my phone's over there. Can you make $1 million a year in woodworking? Pooling $9.98. Yeah, just sell $1 million table, and then you're there. That's what Daniel said. Daniel, what's up, dude?
Richard Schmidt says, "Don't feel bad. I set the frayed cuff of my jean leg on fire. Not like when welding, not once but twice." Yeah, he's consistent.
Nice, Rick.
Yes.
When you said frayed cuff, I was thinking like a frilly cuff, and I was imagining like you, Rick, like in like frilly cuff jeans.
Right.
I was like, dude, what?
Yeah,
I
what's
need a
going on
picture
there?
of these.
It's a whole new style. And Mark the Maker says, word of advice, don't wear a flannel shirt while welding.
No, yeah. But you do want to, so if you are, just like a few quick safety tips that I do know, definitely wear boots, leather boots, because I have also landed some slag on my, I don't know if it's called slag, but embers, whatever, on my shoes, and that will burn through. Wear long sleeve shirts, pants, and don't wear anything synthetic. Because what you do, actually flannel is actually not a great idea, but because it's a little bit more fibrous, but you do want to wear cotton, because if you wear anything synthetic, it will melt instead of burn, and then it will like stick to your skin, and you do not want that to happen.
That's bad news.
Brandon Walker, what up? Turn off the autofocus. I can't turn off the autofocus, man. It's a camera. I don't know. Like it's Instagram. If all you people on Instagram would come over to YouTube,
the quality is so much better.
You're gonna be like, so Brandon, come on, man, head over to YouTube. You know what's up. Didn't see you on YouTube. Are you on there? Lipinski, absolutely, we're on here. We are live. We've got a bunch of people over there.
A bunch of folks.
Fixthisbuildthat.com. Excuse me. Well, you can go there /live. It's on the live channel. It's not on the main channel. So search Fixthisbuild.live. It's on the second channel. So that's where we do all the lives now. All right, we have Juan from Chile, and Casar from Argentina, Samuel from Brazil. Awesome. How would you redo a deck? Power wash or sand? Jay Lasnier, is this a setup question? Because I have an actual video titled
Answering just that question.
Oh no, wait, actually that was the refinishing the furniture. But I just made a video on
true.
refinishing your deck. Go check it out. It's on the YouTube channel, on the main channel, not on the second channel where we're doing the live.
But you're a fan of the power washing.
Moment. Power wash for sure.
Yeah.
But
Unless
you gotta
there's
be careful.
if there's like a specific reason why you need to sand certain areas.
Yeah, you can't power wash everything.
Right.
Like because the nooks and crannies and stuff, and you can blow up that wood really easily, so you gotta be careful.
Don't do that. Don't blow up the wood.
Latino America is watching, absolutely. Latino. Elios
sorry.
Miran.
Mike Donaldson says, oh,
live.
sorry, were you speaking in Spanish?
I was trying to.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Mike Donaldson,
My
what was-
apologies. He says
All
the red suit should be burned.
Never.
He went
Jeremy,
he went
what's
there.
up? Jay's Construction in the house. Mike Coffee. Hey, Mike, you and Brandon, head over to YouTube.
Yeah.
You can still do it on your phone.
Yep.
You're on your phone
Same
already.
thing.
Just go over there.
Katie
You're gonna love
says
it.
she was on IG last week and can confirm the picture and sound is much better on YouTube. So.
Yes, it is. Taylor Paxman, what song is my jam right now?
I know what mine is. I keep singing.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
I'm not singing it.
No, I mean, let's,
I have
like,
a
what
horrible
is
voice.
it? I wasn't like belted out.
I'm trying to think of what the title is. Chasing you like a.
Chasing you.
Yeah, he can sing it. Like yeah. What is that? It's by
It's,
that Mason guy. Chasing you like a shot of whiskey.
Like a shot of whiskey, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep,
get
that's
stuck
a good
in
one.
my head.
That's a good one. No,
What is that
I've
called,
actually.
though? Shot of whiskey. What's the title?
I think it's called Chasing You.
Chasing you.
I think that's
There
the
you go.
album title too, Chasing You.
It's pretty good.
My current jam is I've been listening to, so I do Google Play. I'm an Android guy, so I do YouTube Premium. By the way, if you're not doing YouTube Premium, my gosh, you should do it. It's like I think they raised the price a little bit. It used to be $10, now it might be like 13
for
or something.
for how long?
A month.
Okay.
And it used to be YouTube Red, but you get no ads. So no so before a video plays, no ads, no intro video, mid-roll ads, those don't play. So just for that, I watched so much YouTube, it was worth the time savings. But
That would be an investment.
But the benefit is that along with that, you get Google Play Music, which actually they're killing and converting everything to YouTube Music. But so it's basically the same thing as Spotify or what's the other one? Or any of those.
I don't know. So what's your song?
And so I listened to, there's a channel called Natural Radio. And
Natural?
Natural. And it's like Imagine Dragons, Natural. The Natural. Not the Natural, but Natural. Because you're a natural.
Okay.
A bleeding heart.
Anyway, I don't
you
know
know
the
it.
song. Do I?
That was a horrible rendition, but yes, you know it.
Okay, but it's called, is
Imagine
it like an Imagine
It's called-
Dragons channel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's like everybody else.
Okay.
There's just like more of them. Anyway, and I've been listening to a lot of that, so like kind of that genre, and I've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
It's gonna pump you
alternative
up.
pop.
Yeah.
I guess alternative. I don't know. It's
Cool,
kind of
it's
like
totally rock out
alternative
with
pop,
you.
R&B pop, but it's like, there's some really cool stuff in there. But one of them, to answer your question specifically,
It's a long answer.
yeah, I would say Imagine Dragons as a general band.
Yeah.
They're awesome. I love them. They're so good.
They're very catchy.
They are catchy. All right, what else we got over here?
Oh,
We got
Jonathan
more guys
says
from Chile. Love
it's $9.99 for YouTube Premium, and I can't imagine not having it. Says
It's
Jonathan
wonderful. I think we might be
Aris-
grandfathered in though, Jonathan. I think it's more
How
expensive
do
now.
I don't have it.
Because
do I
we're not on
have
the
it?
family plan.
I should have it.
We should.
I'm so used to the ads. I'm just
should.
like, whatever. And I sometimes, just to be obstinate, I will not look at them. I'm like, you're not.
Just close your
I'll
eyes.
just look away. I'll look at something else. I'm like, you don't get my eyes just because I'm going to watch this video.
Oh no, Asna
What?
for a Kwai. I just primed my stained cabinets for painting, and yellow patches appeared. What do I do?
Oh gosh. You're asking the wrong people.
Matt,
though.
what is up? Rustic River in the house. Matt, go over to
prime
YouTube,
them.
brother. It's so much better.
So much better.
So much better. It's on the second channel.
Why would yellow patches appear when you prime your cabinets?
Well, yellow. So when you prime your
like-
stained cabinets,
Like stained
yellow
cabinets?
patches will come through. So if you don't prime properly and you have like knots
Stained cabinets. yeah.
and you do white, yellow will come through from the knots because of the sap.
Hang on.
But on what?
Just primed.
Listen.
Well, she hasn't actually painted the paint though. It'll still come through just the primer? I'm confused. Go ahead, speak. I'm trying to understand. I don't know.
So if you're priming, basically you just need a different, a more substantial primer. If you used a latex water-based primer, that might not be enough. So if you have stained cabinets, first of all, you need to rough it up. I'm not an expert, but this is just from experience. Because anytime I've had things bleed through a primer, it's because I didn't use a strong enough primer. So you're probably used a latex primer. You want to use, like, I would go on the other end and go like Super Duty, like oil-based primer, like a Kills Original. And it's like lacquer-based as well. So like nothing gets through that stuff. So if you want to like really get a primer that's going to keep everything, you know, at bay and nothing bleeding through, you want to use like an oil-based or a lacquer-based primer.
Yeah, we've got other suggestions on here that kind of support that. Jeremy Owings says use oil-based primer. Tanneries will come through. And then somebody else says, he said tanneries. Yep. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Tanneries like where you tan hides.
That's what I was thinking, but whatever. 1, 2, 3 of Rust-Oleum. I don't know. I guess that's maybe
1, 2, 3 or Rust-Oleum. I think it's Zinsser 1, 2, 3.
Okay, and then Jeremy says if it's not based.
If it's not oil-based.
Oh, okay.
Stains will come through.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah,
I hope that helps
all good.
There's probably videos I would imagine out there on that too, you know?
I know.
But that's a big job, so.
Adrian, is there any news about a world map? There's not, but we should.
Map. We need to do that.
I think we've got South America pretty well covered.
I know.
And North America.
Seriously, every week. It's awesome. Yeah.
And because we're
covering the
same
Americas.
time zone. I know.
Yeah.
Jonathan, what is up? I know, dude. I'm never getting rid of that zoot suit. It's my mom made it for me, so.
Yes, it was awesome.
All right. Do we have any suggestions for the impossible table? Bill Builds. What's up, dude?
Table.
Bill Niemeyer. He's building a little one of those like tensegrity tables. Bill, that was super cool, dude. I would give a little bit more shape to it, right? Because everything's very kind of straight right now. Maybe like put a little design to it, maybe some curves, something like that, so that it gives it a little bit more detail and, you know, just a little something to kind of blend things together and make it a little more cohesive. That's what I'd go for.
Okay.
Jeremy Owings, picture's way better here. There you go.
All right.
You know what's up. Matt, favorite movie.
Favorite movie.
Dude, I
don't know, but I will tell you what our favorite TV series is right now.
Ooh, well, no, don't even say it.
Why?
I don't want any spoilers.
Oh yeah, that's
true. I thought about that. I thought about asking people like, "Hey, what's your favorite?" And I'm like, "We can't."
Yeah, we'll disclose it. We're so behind. This was like a series that came out 10 years ago, and we are just now watching it for the first time, and we're obsessed.
We love doing that.
But we're like
we wait for series, and then we'll like dive in and just binge like years.
Right. Like I would say Ozark and Stranger Things. We're waiting. Can you believe there's only gonna be one more season of Ozark? I'm so bummed.
Things have gotten crazy.
It has. They've really done a lot in 3 seasons, but whatever. So, yes. Favorite movie? No, I don't know.
I don't have one.
You don't have one.
Just
like all
like
movies
in general.
We're a big
bullets,
movie
guns,
family.
Explosions,
I know.
we're good.
He likes little to no plot, more explosions.
Let's see. Any thoughts on reeling jewelry in the shop? Synthetic band. Charlie.
I'm wearing jewelry in the shop.
Yeah, so I don't wear any jewelry. Well, so I wear a silicone wedding ring. I have my original wedding ring was titanium, and then we realized really quickly that was a bad idea.
It seemed really cool at the time.
It was really cool at the time.
And it was a lot cheaper, so there's that.
Oh gosh, it was like $100.
It was amazing.
Awesome. And it was cool. I loved it. I still have it, obviously, but I wear a silicone wedding ring and then a watch with a silicone band on it. So if I ever get anything caught, the stuff's just going to rip off before it does any damage. I don't wear any chains or necklaces or anything like that, so that's not a thing for me. If I did, I would absolutely be sure they were under my shirt. I know Malecki he's got like a medallion that he wears, and it's always under his shirt. I'm always like that would be, if you're doing anything, like if you're doing like wood turning, you can't be having stuff like crazy.
Loving this.
Hanging out there.
Richard says with a lack of new shows, he's rewatching Alias. I would love to do that, and Lost. I would love to rewatch Lost. Let's see
here. Hold on, let me go back here.
Okay.
Have I used Mixol for tinning gel stains before? Bourbon, I have. No, I haven't used it for that. I've used it for tinting epoxy though. And but I've not mixed the colors, but I've got the little set actually right here.
This is like this was kind of long into the show before you were reaching for a prop.
So Total Boat has a mix-all thing, and so if you guys are not familiar with mix-all, because I was not until I got this, it's just a bunch of different colors in there, and then they've got like a whole mixing chart. So if you buy the kit, then you get this like chart, and these are the metallics.
That's cool.
And it tells you like how many of this to get, how many of that. Dang. And so it's got this whole guide here, which is pretty cool. So like you can use it, and I don't know how accurate these are.
Shiny.
I know the metallics are cool.
Super cool.
I will tell you that I was a little surprised at how much I needed to use to get a good tint. So I was like, I really had to jam on that black. So I don't use this for black anymore because you just have to use too much of it.
Well, that makes sense.
And I use
to get it really black.
Yeah, and I just use I'll use like either a pigment, like a black diamond pigment, or you can use acrylic paint too. Acrylic paint works really well in epoxy at least.
All right, let's see. And Casa wants to know who inspired you to make a YouTube channel.
Ooh. I haven't had that question in a while.
Yeah.
I think that, when I was first starting out watching, I started out like way before YouTube, like actually consuming woodworking. And so it was like This Old House, Norm Abram, The Yankee Workshop. And those are in like the woodworking magazines, but those people as far as TV. And so then I started watching like The Wood Whisperer and Jay Bates and those like early adopters, Bob Claggett, Pachuto. And those were the guys that I watched, and I was like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And I started with, I didn't think I was going to do that, but I started in like social media. I started actually on Instagram, then grew it to the blog, then grew it to YouTube. But I knew kind of, once I started doing social media and seeing like, oh, this is fun and I can gain a following, I knew I eventually wanted to do YouTube. Well, and then I modeled a lot of my early stuff directly after, probably the two biggest influences for me were like Jay Bates and Bob Claggett. And I modeled like how I shot my videos and like my thumbnails and stuff like that after those guys, because I really liked what they did and kind of took that as a jumping point. Where like a lot of people, like to get a successful YouTube channel, that's not what you want to do typically. You want to do something more unique. But I gave it enough of my twist in how I present things and how I talk about things that it worked. But yeah, if you model your videos exactly after somebody else, why would... What are you doing better or different than somebody else? What value are you adding?
And I would say that was in the beginning. I mean, you kind of like it's almost like training wheels in the very beginning when you're like, okay, I'm going to do like this thing that looks like it's successful and try to do that on my own as well. And then now he's constantly like going, ooh, I think this is a good angle. Or like you're always thinking about like how the video needs to be shot. What story are we telling? What angle are we going to take? What is the thumbnail going to look like? Just all these things. And so now it's just more like putting your own spin on everything.
Oh, yeah.
So for a long time now.
Right.
And I would say...
since Tuesday, at least.
Since Tuesday. Yeah. No, and like...
We've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah, absolutely. But in the beginning, you don't really know. And I would say, and I know you've talked about this, but in the beginning for Brad, it was more Instagram was a community that he found that of people that were like-minded and that were really into making things, and it was a big release for you and like a way to network with other people and get to know folks. Yeah, like it just you might not have like a woodworker that lives next door that you could sit around and talk about woodworking with.
Because we had moved back here to Nashville from Cincinnati, and so I had folks that were friends that I did woodworking with up in Cincinnati, and then when I moved here, I like found that online because I didn't know, like none of my friends here from school did any woodworking or anything like that, and I hadn't, and then come to find out, nobody on the street. Folks on our street,
they're all
so
like
much,
triathletes.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not woodworkers.
Great people. They just
they're super nice. They just
don't like
they
woodworking.
Run. So yeah.
M. Schroeds on Instagram says, "Can you suggest the best exterior wood glue?" Type Bond 3 is kind of the go-to YouTube. W. Brad Sims loves the YouTube channel. Keep it up. Thank you. Made by Blaine. What's up, dude? It's better to buy a used thickness planer or a new one. I mean, that's all just a budget concern, honestly. Like, I buy used tools a lot. used to buy them exclusively.
Right. We're always looking for a good deal.
Yeah, now I'm fortunate enough to work with a lot of sponsors that I get tools from sponsors that are new. Sometimes they're used.
Right.
When I do get them, they're like, hey, we tested this thing out. We're going to send. Yeah, sure.
It's in good condition.
Right.
We'll take it.
But yeah, it's just a budget thing because that's the great thing about a quality tool is it doesn't really matter if it's new or used. Sometimes used is a little bit better because it's broken in the sense that it's might be set up. They've kind of worked through all the little bugs of getting everything fine tuned, and then you just have it. So and you don't have to assemble it. Gosh, assembling machines can be
that seems like it would be. Well, like your table saw was a used machine.
Table saw.
Yeah, we need to go through these.
Machine. The table machine. The table saw was.
The table machine.
Where was Wassam said something in here? I saw
that up here.
Finished the dresser and started the flip top car. Awesome, Wassam.
All right.
That is fantastic, dude. Thank you so much.
We've got a bunch of comments up here.
Oh yeah, hold on. We're getting past it.
Okay.
The screen is touchscreen, which is super nice.
It is, yeah.
But I wish the tech. I wish this is like bigger. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see here. We did answer Charlie's camera flipped around on YouTube versus Insta, which is real.
Matt's
John.
here. Do you see?
Oh, Matt came over. That's awesome, Matt.
Do you carry a knife? Bill Builds wants to know.
Bill Builds, yes, absolutely. I do carry a knife.
Super handy for the rest of us in the family.
Yeah. So I carry a Milwaukee hardline.
I feel like that's when you're an adult, like for a dude. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but it's so nice because the kids will be like, "Oh, we can't open this thing," and Brad's always like, "Got a knife."
I didn't carry a knife for a long time. I've only been carrying this for about 2 years now.
Has it only been 2 years?
Maybe 3.
I mean, you've had to turn them in at the airport before, though.
This is my second or third one because I when I first started traveling, I'd never traveled. Like when I first started traveling for the channel and stuff, and after I had quit, that's when it was.
After you quit your corporate
gig. Because I traveled in the corporate gig, I traveled all the time, and so I was in the habit, and then I stopped, and then I went on my first trip after being at home for 3 or 4 months.
After being sequestered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I was so mad.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a little this is their 2.5 inch, and I love this because I like a small knife. I don't actually keep the clip on it. I just keep it in my pocket. And yeah, I love this one. It's got a little ball bearing in there for the opening, and sometimes I just open and close it because it's fun. So yeah, Milwaukee hardline. Yep. And it's the 2.5 inch.
Gets the job done.
It's the smallest one they do. I really enjoy this knife.
Katie wants to know, would you recommend Total Boat for a beginner epoxy pour?
It depends on what you're pouring. Like when you say epoxy pour, so I've done their high performance is really great for filling knots and small stuff. I've actually I've only done one deep pour, and I used Eco Epoxy liquid plastic, and that worked great. I've actually not used the thick set from Total Boat, but I know the limitation is smaller than some of them as far as how much you can pour at once. So I would just make sure you read you can go on the website and see all the stuff on the different people and find out how much you're trying to pour and how much you need to pour. And I would recommend getting one that you can do it in one shot. So if you've got 2 inches to go, and they say only do 1 inch at a time, then you'd have to do 2 different pours, and you kind of have to time that so that it's in the gel phase. And I've never even done that. I'm just look, I just want to do it once. So there's so many epoxy brands on the market. I do use Total Boat for my filling, and then most of the the gap fills, and then the small things. Like I said, I've just not done a ton of. I'm doing a lot more epoxy inlay now than I'm doing a deep river pour or something like that. Right. And I use the high performance with the slow harder, and that works awesome. I really enjoy that. T-Hub, what is up, my man?
Yeah, and John says that there must have been a run on cedar 2x4s after the Love Seat was released. Can't find them anywhere. I feel like somebody said that. Somebody else said that recently. Maybe it's because it's summer and people are building the outdoor projects.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The cedars are tough.
Tough to come by.
Padilla. Any way to drill straight holes into a narrow side of a board without a drill press? Yeah, absolutely. There's several different ways, but the one I would recommend would be to get a drilling guide. They make this little metal block, and it's maybe an inch thick, and you can put that on there, and it will guide your bit. You could also use a self-centering dowel jig if you're trying to go to the edge, and just clamp that and use it that way. Those would probably be the two that I would recommend, but you need some kind of guide, some kind of metal bushing guide to help you out there. Nathan Bragan, what's up? We got Keopic in the house. Eric Bredheim from Timbuktu, Bredheim.
North Dakota.
Better get used.
That's cool.
This here. Oh, use thick displaner. Yep. He's hammering me on the question. We got you, man. Let's see here. We have Coil Nath. I'm not sure if I got that. Hit me in the DMs if I've not responded. How did I increase my followers on Instagram? Woodworm Customs. Go check out my podcast, Made for Profit. We talk all about that stuff. Actually, the first 3 episodes of Made for Profit are all about growing your Instagram. And they're still relevant now because it's about more of the thought process versus like tactics. So it's about like how to think about it, how to be consistent, how to present yourself,
how to serve your audience,
how to find your audience, and how to plan and think about content, to think about like what to share.
Right.
So go check those out. That should really help you. Let's see here. Indonesia in the house. What is up? Justin Williams 258. Ahmed, what's up, my man? Clamp rack done. Tucker, fantastic, man. That was awesome, Tucker. He said, Fluxentine cart done.
Wow.
And I said,
I'm sorry, what was it?
Fluxentine. The Fluxentine cart is done.
Wow.
And then he said, flip
cart.
I like that the autocorrect for flip
awesome.
cart is Fluxentine.
Every time I want to text your name, my spell check puts you in as bread. It's so annoying. You would think by now they would know that I text the word Brad a lot. Katie says, okay, so hang on, actually. And Casa says, your favorite wood. What is your favorite wood? Walnut. Katie says, I'm going to be recreating a 10th century Viking sea chest for a friend, and we'll be putting a modern decor on it, and wanted to do a main design that is roughly a 1/2 inch deep to experiment with epoxy. First of all, that just sounds really cool.
That does sound super cool.
10th century Viking sea chest. I mean, that's like...
I like it. I feel like it's
next level.
What did we just watch? We watched Aquaman.
We did. That was...
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But
I mean, the kids loved it.
It was good, but bad. It was like so bad it's good.
It was funny.
Yeah, so 1/2 inch, you're probably coming up on the limits of high performance at a 1/2 inch. And I think like I said, you can read on there. I think it might say 1/4 or 3/8 of an inch. So I would definitely test that. That's the biggest thing too. Don't ever like run in whole hog at a final project if you have boards that are irreplaceable that you don't want to mess up. I would highly recommend to do a test first. So, pour something at a 1/2 inch that's just like a little guy and see how it reacts, and then you can kind of go from there.
A little tester. Connor Hunsaker says, just finished putting up your shop cabinets and flip top bench. Love them. Miter Station is next. Love how all of your stuff is garage friendly.
Awesome, Connor. Yeah, absolutely. That's what we try to do is, I think, because we are in a garage.
Yeah.
And I like my stuff to be mobile, even though I don't move it around a ton. I move things off the wall and in and out. I love mobility, and so that's what most of our plans are designed to help save space and to be mobile so you can move around.
Yep.
Woodworm Customs, the podcast is available anywhere you can get podcasts. So there are a bazillion ways to get podcasts. Pick any of them.
Yeah.
I use Podcast Addict on Android. You can also go to madeforprofit.com, and that's our website. And then you can get it on Apple, iTunes. You can get it wherever you can get
podcast app.
Spotify. Like I said, anywhere. Anywhere you can get podcasts, you can find
them. And Casa wants to know, do you speak some Spanish?
Yes. Yo hablo español un poquito. Aprendo español para... I'm not up to the hundreds. I don't know how to say like...
I feel like you're when you're speaking Spanish, like your mannerisms change.
You have to.
I guess so. It's funny.
Yeah. Nueve months. I don't even know how to say months. I'm like in there. So I'm studying.
Learning.
I've been studying Spanish for almost a year now. When I say almost a year, like through Duolingo. So I spend probably 20 minutes a day going through it. So I'm starting to get a lot of vocabulary, but it is not easy. Es muy difícil para mí hablar español.
And I meant to say this before. Razor had commented earlier, Brad, I think you said that you have a CNC. Did it take long to learn, and which programs do you use? Modeling and controlling the CNC.
Yeah, the CNC software is really easy to use. I have the X-Carve. I have the Inventables X-Carve. They have the easel program, and their easel program is really easy for basic stuff, and If you wanted to do, put some text in there or cut shapes and whatever, very easy to do. If I'm doing anything more complex, I will design either in Illustrator or SketchUp. I've been doing more SketchUp recently. The design I just did on the drawer fronts is SketchUp. Will you go grab the drawer front over there?
Sure. The drawer front?
Yeah, the one that's not attached, obviously.
Yes.
I'll show you the design that I did because, and I should have had this over here.
You should have.
Thank you, baby.
No problem.
So this will go to answer a couple questions.
Gotta get my pillow situated.
I know, she sits on a pillow because we don't have like a
the
chair
seat is
that's
way too low.
the right height.
Now you guys all know our tricks.
They know the tricks.
can't
So,
hear,
boom, check this out. Oh, look at that. That is, and it's finished with Rubio, so it just smells delightful. Sniff it.
You always have me smelling wood.
That's right, baby. That's what we do around here.
He's always like, smell this.
Smell this.
Smells so good.
So this is walnut, obviously, or not so obviously, with Rubio Pure, but then all these little, all the inlay here was all done on the X-Carve, and so the inlay is about 1/8 of an inch deep, and I routed or CNC'd all the lines in here, and I made this design. I modeled it after actually wallpaper, oddly enough, but it was this really cool design, and I overlaid it, and I grabbed a picture of it, and then I recreated it in SketchUp. So like something like this in SketchUp is very easy because it's I basically made a grid of parallel lines at this direction and then at that direction and then across, and then deleted all the lines that I didn't want there. So like something like that is fairly easy to execute on, but this is one of the drawer fronts for the project.
I know,
This is
it's
not
so
the
cool.
special. This is not the special one, but yeah,
No.
this is like
This is standard.
this is standard.
I like the
but it's
blue. I feel
such a
like
cool
that
look.
that light blue really does kind of pop.
It does.
You know what it reminds me of is Tron.
Oh yeah.
You know?
That was a good movie.
Yeah, that was a good one.
All right, let me go back over here.
see.
Jonathan, greetings from huge fan to Benito Camillo. Huge fan of the videos. All right, awesome. Tucker, thanks. Keep up the good work. Absolutely, absolutely. Anthony, thank you so much. We got Boris. How much is a CNC? I don't know what the small one is. I think that the big, I have the 1,000 by 1,000, and I think like decked out, that one's about 1,500. And I think you can probably get the smaller one closer to 1,000, maybe slightly under 1,000. But it's all on their site. You can go to any of my CNC videos, have a link directly in there.
Yeah.
Over to the exact one that I have.
Well, and that kind of relates to Chris Charlton wants to know, is it worth the price for the X?
Is it worth the price?
That's really personal, probably. I would imagine, depending on how often you would use it and what you would use
100%. I mean,
it for.
yeah, and that's like any tool, right?
Right.
Like, is it worth the price? It totally depends upon your situation
Right.
and how much. What I always say when somebody's asking me about a tool, it's like, is this? I think about it in two ways. Is this tool going to allow you to do something you can't do right now that you want to do or need to do or have like, and I'm thinking about it for resale, so like for business. Will this tool allow you to do something that fills a need that you can't do already? Right, so that's like, oh, people are asking you for CNC signs and you can't do it because you don't have the machine. Boom, okay. The next one is, will it help you do something you're already doing faster? And so that's on any tool. So right, it could be a CNC, it could be a planer. So a lot of people ask me that, like, oh, should I upgrade from a 6-inch joiner to an 8-inch joiner? Or should I upgrade from a benchtop planer to a 15-inch floor standing planer? Same question, right? So let's take the planer, for example, because if you have a 13-inch planer, like how fast will it feed in boards? How much can you take off at a time? And through all those things, if you upgraded like a 20-inch planer, and now all of a sudden you can take 1/8-inch cuts off of wood and get like super aggressive on like a soft wood, and it feeds 10 feet per second faster, feet per minute, not feet per second, that would be insane. Faster, then like now that's how like, you know, so that's how my business mind goes, is like, think about, will I be faster and will it allow me to do something I can't do already that's going to be beneficial to me, whether it's personal, right? Because it could just be like, we totally want to we want signs for our house,
right.
and we're going to buy them, or I can make them, right? And so you could make them save the
Or
money.
if you
and
were
then,
like, I'm going to make these as presents
Right.
as well. I'm going to make
them
these
for other
as
people.
Christmas gifts or
That's the
sell
way
them.
That's the way I look at it, and that's the way I
Right.
look at any tool purchase as far as an upgrade or brand new tool. That's the way I look at it.
Yep.
Hope that helps.
It's your process.
Next live in Spanish. I don't think so. It'd be very,
It'd be a very short one.
live. It would be like, hola.
I feel like every
Elliot,
week
what's
though
up?
you're practicing it because people are always
I know,
asking
right?
you.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I know.
All
It's
right,
good.
buenas noches, amigos. See you next week. All right.
Yep.
Buenos tardes, mi amigo. The Shark HD. The Shark HD. It runs off the Vectric software.
Connor says, where do you find all of your good deals on hardwood? I always hear you say you got a good deal, but all of it is hardwood dealers and they get pricey.
Yeah, Connor, I buy lumber. I do buy it from some dealers. I hadn't for a long time. For a long time, I lived off of these.
I forgot that like you had there
deals.
were hardwood dealers because you had so much wood.
For a long
I had so much.
I had two major scores that I got off of Craigslist.
Oh, do you remember your honey hole? Remember like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, we found this just.
That's different though, but yeah.
The place that had free offcuts. Well, that was the other thing.
And that was like when he used to work his day job.
Yeah, we found the honey hole.
I know. When he used to work his day job way back in the day, him and another friend of his is another woodworker that worked up there, right? Y'all would like go up on the drive up there, which was long. There was a cabinet shop.
It was like a millwork shop.
Yeah.
And we found out that they put their offcuts out on the curb.
Always looking
like
for a deal.
Bundled up or whatever. And yeah, so I found like 1 inch, 2 inch wide walnut offcuts, and I used those to make cutting boards. So I got like free walnut for day. There's still a lot of it over here.
Yeah.
I had bins and bins of it that I eventually gave away because I had too much of it, and I wasn't making cutting boards anymore.
But it was nice at the time. It was
But
great.
it was. And so same thing. I had a Craigslist score. I had two major Craigslist scores for walnut, and those are the deals that I typically would be talking about. And I probably between the two, I had. I don't know, 300 to 400 board feet, which is a lot for me, for an individual person that's not, doing production work. And I used that stuff for years.
Yeah.
I mean, like
it's all
probably
over
4
our house
years.
and projects now.
Probably like 4 years worth of stuff. And that's where I got it, is Craigslist. So, but now, unfortunately, I have to buy it from the hardwood dealer.
I mean, you could still keep an eye out on Craigslist.
I haven't been. I should.
You could though.
I could.
Yeah, but for us, it's almost more. It's more of an issue of storing it, though.
It's space.
Because
for the longest time,
everything comes down to space around here.
And that's before the kids.
So we feel your pain if you have a garage shop. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so now, like the kids area has expanded, and that's where the wood used to be.
Yep. Oh my gosh, that's true. It was like half the kid space was wood. Yes. So that would be a problem.
Splinter Concept. Just want to say it really resonated with the meltdown video on the replay.
Oh man, that was ugly. He was up late doing that, and he came to bed and I was already asleep. And the next morning, it's like you had still not gotten over it. And we woke up and I was just like, and he was like, do you want to know how things went last night? And I was like, do you want to tell me? And he's like, it was horrible. It was still so bad.
It was super bad.
Oh yeah.
That being said, it turned out okay.
I mean, it did, and it happens to everybody, right? Like
it does. That really resonated. People really loved the glue up.
Oh yeah.
Meltdown.
I mean, every time anything goes wrong, I'm always telling you like it's good. People will like this.
People love it. People love
Just
it.
every day, mess up something.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Do I have a 3D printer? I do. I bought
We've got all the printers.
What did I buy?
I don't know.
An Anycubic Mega S.
Oh yes, I didn't know that.
$250, something like that.
Like in the fall, maybe?
Yeah, I haven't played with it in a while. I bought a bunch of accessories for it, like Octopi, Raspberry Pi, like this whole setup. And then I kind of stopped using it because I got so busy. I've been so busy doing other stuff.
We were making face masks for a while there, and
yeah, we made the face shield holders.
Shields, not face masks.
The whole thing.
Yep.
Let's see here. What else we got? What state are we in? We are in Tennessee.
Great state of Tennessee.
In Nashville.
Our
Pablo Pizarro. Awesome name.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Where did you store the fancy jacket in the last video?
Oh, in the closet.
Because they didn't see it in the final shots.
Oh, is it not in there? Yeah. Because it was all staged.
It was all staged.
Yeah, it was like pretty coordinating stuff.
That's.
It's still in the closet. His mom made it, so it's never going away.
Canon, what's up?
I forgot it was in there though.
Canon. Any good saw blade cleaning recommendations? Yes. I use the Rockler resin and pitch remover. It works awesome. And it's actually this little guy right here This little blue guy, if you can probably see it up there as well. Oh no, you can't see it on YouTube. On YouTube, you can't see it. But on Instagram, it's the
there.
blue guy up there, and it's this nice big round, it's like 3-inch tall rubber or plastic bin, and you just put the liquid in there, and it's actually got a little standoff at the bottom so that it will get on both sides of the blade. And then I let it soak for 5-10 minutes, and then clean it with a toothbrush. Works great.
Katie was saying
All right,
that she works out of her garage, and everything has to live on her 5 by 3 foot workbench, and she has no wall space. I'm looking forward to having a dedicated space one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucas can resonate with, or that resonates with him. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have just, like a little tucked away corner, and that's how you were in the beginning. You had like the dark cobwebby corner of an old dank basement.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Cincinnati,
Back in the day,
in
an old 100-year-old home, low ceilings, basement.
Super low, like 7.5 foot ceilings. So I could literally right about here, I would touch. And stone walls that seeped and leaked. And
it's freezing cold in the winter.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't that hot in the summer though. I think it was.
I didn't
not
do
too
many
bad.
projects. That was more home repair projects.
That's true.
More home
That was keeping
DIY
the house
before I
running.
started getting into woodworking. That's how I got started. But that's when I did. That's when I bought the table saw.
Right.
And we had those stairs. The stairs were like this.
I forgot about the
going
stairs.
down in there. I don't even know how we got that thing out. I think Jason helped me. My brother-in-law helped me. I'm sure.
I mean, if you live in an old house, in a city somewhere, Cincinnati has a lot of 100-plus-year-old homes.
Yeah, it was built in 1905.
Rickety old basements, and I mean it wasn't rickety, but the stairs were rickety. The stairs were definitely rickety.
Termite ridden, and it was a mess.
There's a lot of character. And then we moved to the burbs, and we were so happy.
Let's see here. Make it happen. What's up, my man? Had your meltdown earlier tonight. Jet table saw height adjustment broke. Oh no! Do I know where to shop in Nashville? Matt, I don't know of any.
Have any what?
Of a repair shop in Nashville.
For what? Sorry, I missed.
For a table saw.
Oh, geez.
Your height adjustment, that stinks. I mean, there could be several things, right? It's probably something. If it was, you could probably fix it depending upon. So the height adjustment would be one of 3 or 4 things, right? Because you've got a screw, I don't know how that one works, but it's probably a screw with some type of gear that goes into the rack. So I don't know, dude. I mean, you might be, I would call Jet. I mean, they'll know. They're over in Smyrna. So, or Laverne. Yeah, call Jet. They should be able to let you know, but I'm sure there's somebody local, that can do that at least. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They obviously don't sell stuff out of there, but I bet there's somebody a technical guy. Hit me up. If you can't find anything, hit me up because I for sure know a guy. I know a guy at Jet who is the technical guy, and he could for sure tell you where to get it fixed. So if you need, hit me up for sure.
Jonathan wants to know any thoughts on the new Bronco.
I've not seen it.
I heard something. Is this a big news item?
The only reason I heard that is because I saw Peter McKinnon did a tweet about how they crushed the ad for it.
Oh.
And I've not seen it yet.
Well, he would definitely be down on that.
Yeah. Huh. I love Peter McKinnon. He's so awesome.
He's so funny.
Lynn, Shabby Cheap. She says, "You guys rock." Thank you, Lynn. You rock. All right. What else we got? Going? We're coming up on the hour here.
Yeah, we are. Just talking about shop space every
shop
year.
Space. Yeah,
and Lucas wants to, he said, I want my whole garage, but my mom wants her minivan in the garage. So I told him he needs to build her whatever she wants to convince her and then get a remote start for the van.
That's how I did it.
Right? Except you didn't do it.
You don't actually have to buy it, the remote start, because...
You just say, you do it, and then I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
And that's what you should tell her, and then she may never get around to it like yours truly
and
here.
you might be good, yeah.
Yeah. I need to do that.
I know you do.
Why haven't I done it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm so used to it. I get in there and it's an
You're
oven.
a trooper. You need to put up the sun
shield.
The sunshades.
I forget about it.
I know you do.
I know.
Every time I walk out there,
here's the thing. We work from home now, and so there are days and days and days where I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So, and then when I need to go, I just sweat.
We're homebodies.
We are homebodies.
We go grocery shopping and.
We get takeout food.
And Chipotle.
We've not been brave enough to eat in a restaurant.
We have been crushing Chipotle lately.
Oh my gosh.
It's out of control.
It is a little bad.
Yeah,
But it's so good.
it is
The
out of
people
control.
there know us.
Yeah.
I've been recognized in the grocery store by a lady that works at Chipotle. She was like, oh, well, like I was getting sushi at the grocery store. And she said, oh, you're not getting Chipotle today? And I was like, no,
You're like, no, not today.
I'm not. Sorry. Yeah.
Let's see here. Kayla, Margaret, almost finished a dresser. You're building. Watch the DIY dresser video. Thanks for the inspiration. Absolutely. That is
Yeah.
awesome. I'd love to see it. Shoot me a picture when you're finished with it.
Katie wants to know, what was your first woodworking project and what was it made out of?
Oh, my very first woodworking project was a serving tray, which
we
we
still have.
And it was made out of walnut and
Shocker.
white oak, which and
Oh.
I like had no choice in that. It was I did a class at
You
Woodcraft.
like both of those woods still.
I did a class at Woodcraft, and they were like, here's the stuff. And I was like, I had no idea what
You're
I was
like,
doing.
tell me what to do.
Absolutely no idea.
Right.
I would never combine those two woods.
I didn't know they were two different wood. No, hang on. Are we thinking, did you stain them?
I don't know, because like the bottom's like yellow, and then the handles are like walnut.
Am I thinking of a different one?
I think you're thinking the one we bought. That's the one we typically use. The small
I
one
don't know.
with the little curves on it. I'll show you when we go inside.
Okay.
But
clear this up.
that's what I made. I made it up in the Woodcraft in Forest Fair Mall in Cincinnati, and that was a cool little project, and it kind of got me the bug, if you will, for woodworking, and that's what started it all.
Yep. All right. Big Willie's Garage wants to know, can you do a round over or chamfer on an edge banded plywood? Can you do it?
No.
Get straight to
sure
the
you
point.
can, but no, you can't, because what's going to happen is that you've got, the edge banding is super thin. It's basically like another veneer. And so the only way you could potentially do it, and it wouldn't even make any sense, especially on a round over, like the smallest round over you're going to do is like a 1/16 of an inch. And so veneers are typically like a 32nd. And very small. And so what's going to happen is like as soon as you pass that point where the inside of your edge banding and the underside of the veneer touch, then you're into the core, which would be like typically poplar, a poplar core and plywood. And so that would be exposed. So no, you can't. I mean, the only way you could do it potentially would be to route it and then edge band it, and it would be a mess. You'd be a lot of time. No, don't do it. Use hardwood trim. That's what I've been doing a lot recently. That's what I did
I've been doing that a lot.
I did that on the computer desk. If you want to go watch that video, you can see how I did that. And I've also done it here on the nightstand. I used an 1/8 inch solid walnut, and you could do a 16th inch round over, obviously, because then you've got 1/8 of an inch to work with, and then you just round over, and you still got some meat there in the solid wood to work with.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Looks
good question
nice.
though.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome, man. All right, well, we are going to sign off now. We're coming up on the hour.
Yep.
So thank you so much for joining. If you do want to see the makeover video, again, it's not DIY, but if you just want to see me dancing in a red zoot suit, that'd be a great video for you to watch.
And the video,
So go
turns
check it out.
Beautiful.
And the closet turned out amazing.
Yes.
But next Sunday,
Next Sunday.
be prepared. The video is going to be
Hold
amazing.
on to
I don't know.
your
I think
hats.
it's going to be a super long video. I don't know. It might be like an hour.
It was a
video.
process, right?
I've got so much footage. I made so many mistakes, thought process, because I didn't know what I'm doing. I'm like trying to figure this out on the fly.
And
so
film it.
Be ready on Sunday, because that one's going to be epic, and I'm super stoked. And so come back next Sunday and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And until then, have a great week. Stay safe and stay cool, because my gosh,
Stay
it is
healthy.
blazing out there.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I hope everybody is staying safe with all the numbers going crazy. So
I know. Yeah.
it's all good though. But get out there, build something awesome, and we will talk to you guys next Sunday. All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.
All right. You
All
wanna
right. And
tell them goodbye there?
oh,
Favorite.
yes.